Y'all, I am just trying to make it as a singer and designer after quitting my job on the news. And I am using this podcast as a way to build a community of people who are just trying to turn something out of nothing as well, and show y'all how I'm doing it and who's helping me along the way, and some of the tips and tricks that I'm learning, and giving you a piece of advice, because if not you, who is going to do it? If not you, who is going to say yes and do it uncomfortable, scared with what she has, and be resilient, but also relentless in the process? So this is Ruby's Roundtable, and I'm Ruby Durham, and let's do this together.
What up, yo? This is Big Cook. Shout out to Ruby. I can't wait to see her for halftime performance at the HBCU basketball tournament.
And we are reporting live at the Bojangles Coliseum, getting ready for what is going to be an amazing halftime. This is the Black College Invitational Championship. Hi.
How you doing?
Good, whatever.
Hey, if not you,
Who?
Okay, first things first, I dare you. I dare you to say yes. I dare you to say yes to something that you think you're not prepared for, to something that you've never done before, and you don't see all the steps, but you say yes anyway. This past weekend, I said yes. I said yes. I got this text, and it basically said, hey, a performer dropped out of the BCIC halftime performance, and we need somebody. Are you in? If so, let me know quickly. And I said, oh my gosh, my first reaction was halftime, Saturday. It was Thursday or Friday. And I'm girl, why are you even hesitating or second guessing anything? Say yes and figure it out along the way. You've been rehearsing, you've been practicing choreography, you've been doing the thing. So put it to the test. So I said, you know what? If not me, who? If not now, when? So I said yes. And I immediately just called up a few people and said, hey, this is what I have going on. Can you help me in this process? Because I really want to turn this around. I want to have some of the dancers that I've been practicing with. And I called my vocal coach. I told her exactly what happened. And she was just not even telling me say yes, because I had already had that in my mind. She basically just motivated me to ask the right questions, and that was, okay, well, I have a monitor, well, I have in-ear. So these are the things. Again, after I said yes, I just called on the people who could help me and figure it out from there. So that reaction was just kind of here we go. Let's put all the things that we've been working towards to the test. So how did I prepare? Like I said, I already was preparing. I was already in vocal lessons. She was telling me exactly what I needed to. I actually went to this school that I mentor at earlier in the week, and I was recording and rehearsing the same song that I performed, which was If Not You Who, on the stage. And the music teacher there was giving me advice. So it just all came together when I got the text. It was just one of those things where I was prepared for the opportunity. All I had to do was show up. So that's exactly what we did. Shout out to DJ Chuck T. We literally just did a podcast together, and he was giving tips and tricks and just all the feedback on music artists today, new music artists. And it's those relationships that are in place where, if something happens or if a decision needs to be made and you've been in their face or you're top of mind, they're going to reach out to you, and hopefully you're in position to be ready for that call, but then also do a really good job. So again, my vocal coach, the school that I mentor at, the music teacher, all of these people kind of were already preparing me, and these are people that I made relationships with. So it was just like, okay, Ruby, it's on you to make that move. So again, I dared myself to say yes, and I'm telling you to do the same thing. So the only person that, again, I went to for advice was the vocal coach, because I wanted to make sure that, you know, I was set up for success. This is an arena. This is on the court. So I'm like, how in the world am I going to hear myself? Is it going to be an echo? Like, those are the questions that I had. And again, she just wanted to make sure, okay, do you have a monitor and the in-ears? The in-ears, I never had in-ears before. And I'm thinking, like, when I was on the news, we used to have these IFBs. And so the IFBs, you could hear the show and you could hear your voice like in your ear. And that kept you on par with everything that was going on. So I still have yet to use in-ears. So hopefully at a future performance, I will be able to use those. But that was like one of the main things she suggested.
Because if you're going to distinguish that track out there, you need to know if you're going to get an echo,
Okay.
and how to work your way around that. Okay.
Okay. I also called one of the dancers, or I texted her and I was like, hey, you know, I would love to have some of the dancers that we've already been rehearsing and practicing with this choreography. You know, how can I pull this off? And I just text like all of them and said, hey, I know it's last minute, but I got the last minute call. Can you be available? And 3 said yes. Others were like, please tell me about future performances, but it was a little short notice and that was totally fine. But the 3 that said yes, I said, you know what, we're going to do this together for the first time and we're going to go from there. But I was so excited that I just was able to call on them and we got together. It was positive energy from the time I asked to the time I was able to meet them at the arena in person. So let's talk about like when I got there. So I was told to get there super early for sound check, which I was really excited about because I think as an artist, I'm always going to want to get a sound check because not only does it calm all my nerves, but it really does help me set the stage for myself and really get into that person, that character, or just turn on the performer in me like once I get there. So that was really amazing. So ended up going to the arena, the Bojangles Coliseum. It was for the Black College Invitational Championship, the first ever in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I got there and everybody was cool and so helpful. I ran into a couple of people who were working the event and they were just showing me where I needed to go. One of the dancers, she beat me there. She was like, girl, I be early. And I was like, I love it. Thank you. She was just so excited. And then we just found a spot. We found a spot like in the tunnel area of the arena and we kind of put our outfits together, make sure we all were going to look good. And we started rehearsing just in that area before we were told to actually go on the court because some of the basketball players were already on the court practicing like when I got there. And so we just practiced a little bit in the tunnel area and then the other 2 dancers showed up. We practiced. We were kind of just like, here we go. Like, let's do this. It's all coming full circle. Like the things that we've worked on in previous rehearsals and recordings. So let's put it to the test in front of new people. So that was really good. And I wasn't nervous. And let me not lie. I was a little nervous. I was about to throw up. I was about to throw up several times, but it was one of those where it was just like, wow, like this is happening. Like, what you gonna do with it? Like, how are you going to put your best foot forward and really use all the time that you can in the moment to just show who you are, meet new people, and just put on like the best performance that you can. So that was really nerve-wracking, but at the same time, I was trying to be in the moment and just embrace everything that was around. everybody was super helpful. Like everybody that I ran into, down to the people who were over sound. DJ Chuck T was there. He was the DJ for the event. Like everybody was like, this is what's happening. This is what you'll do leading up to the sound check. And the sound check, we ended up not doing in ears. We ended up using a monitor, and I had to like stay in this specific area, like on the court, so I could be able to hear myself. So that was interesting, but we just made it work with what we had. Sound check went good. They kind of showed us like where we had to be, where we would enter when it was our time to go on the court, and they created an introduction for me as well. So again, it was like a smooth process. If I had to say like what this process showed me in terms of taking risk, I would definitely say do it. Take the risk. That's the whole point. That was the whole point of quitting the job. That was the whole point of starting music again. That was the whole point of just embracing the new lifestyle that I wanted for myself and the new goals that I wanted for myself. So it would have been crazy of me not to say yes when this is what I wanted. This is what I've been telling myself to do. Take the leap of faith, take the risk. So this was one of those moments where I grew a little bit of confidence because I trusted myself to say yes, and I showed up. And I think in moments where you feel doubt or any fear, you should really feel more confidence when you trust the steps that you're taking, when you trust the preparation, when you trust the process, and you show up for yourself and you get through it the best way. That's where that confidence comes in my opinion. So take the leap. Take the risk. You're going to get so much more confident after that because you did it for yourself and you learned something. You were going to take away something that you learned. You were going to create relationships, new bonds in that process. And you were going to learn like, okay, this is what I need to do better next time. So again, I dare you to say yes. Come back. Let me know how it went after you said yes so we can share that. I think there were no really surprising moments there. Like it all just kind of felt like, okay, here we go. Like this is what's happening. And we just took it from there. It went by so fast. Like I thought like it was going to go by slow because we were there so early and then we still had to wait for the first half to end, but it went by so fast. And I actually didn't know that we were going to be performing during a women's game. So that was really special to me because it's Women's Month. I know we're coming to an end, but it was Clark Atlanta women's basketball and it was Johnson C. Smith University. And so it was just like, wow, like this is all what I'm here for, like women on women on women and just being in the atmosphere. There were some fans there. I could tell like it was probably gonna get crazy for the men's, but we are still working on it, showing up for the women's basketball team. But I was so proud to just be in that moment where it's like, I'm performing during a women's basketball game. So shout out to, the women's basketball teams on both ends because that was a really good moment to feel and to be in. I think my advice to other people would, again, not only say yes to an opportunity, but say yes to yourself. Give yourself permission to step out. Give yourself permission to, I'm going to do this and I am going to be the best at it in that moment, have the best attitude and just go after it. Give yourself permission to step out on faith, to put yourself in an atmosphere that maybe you didn't know that you would be in, but you are going to show up no matter what. Again, girl, if not you, who? If not now, when? The reaction from the crowd. So this is all so interesting because I'm practicing like my stage presence, which it's already been there. But I think in terms of music and artistry, definitely there's more room for improvement. So I kind of was just like, hey, if you about to have the best summer of your life, say yeah. And some people definitely said it. And then I also said, this is a 2025 anthem that you've never heard before, but you're hearing it here for the first time. It's called If Not You Who. Turn to your neighbor, say, if not you. If not you. And then I said, who? And so we definitely got some of that. So it's just working on that a little bit more. We were told to stand like one way facing the cameras, and the crowd, the majority of the crowd was behind us. So the dancers and I, we kind of made a decision, like, don't just, even though we were told to face one way, really try to work the entire arena, because there were more people behind us and there were also people on the sides of us. So we were just trying to make sure that, you know, we just don't face the camera the whole time, and we kind of work the room, because while yes, we want to be on camera and we want to get a good look, but we also, the whole point is to engage with the fans and also, you know, just get that facial expression that we want to give off to the fans and make sure they kind of relate to the music or relate to us, like as we're out there performing. So that's one thing I'll say that is a work in progress, but we on the way. We are definitely on the way. What would I do differently? I'm going back to those in-ears. Two people this week have said, Ruby, get in ears. So try to figure out, like, even if whatever performance I'm at, like if they don't have in ears, like how can I make sure I have the in ears, and figure out, like, no matter what equipment is out there, like I'm able to utilize the in ears. So that's one thing I have to figure out, the in ears, because we want to make sure that playback, we want to make sure that it all sounds good, and not saying it didn't, but how can I prepare myself in any situation, especially when that's something that my vocal coach and another producer had told me about in the same week, like in ears. Do differently. The one thing I want to do is outfits. So the dancers, I pretty much showed them to wear all black. So the one thing I would do differently too is figure out a way where maybe it's not the same dancers every time, or maybe it will be my same dancers every time. How can I really get good at styling or making sure that we all look really good? And we look good. Like everybody felt good. I made sure everybody was comfortable. Like we put our outfits together like before the performance, but I want us to have, like, you know, some really creative looks, and we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. It's going to be some money too, so I have to think about that. But I definitely want to make sure that we are all razzle dazzle, like, you know, razzle dazzle. But in the meantime, we're going to focus on the performance, focus on artist development, crowd control, engaging with the crowd, sounding really good. Like we're going to focus on that. But that is one thing, like having some amazing coordinated outfits, like no matter what. So when we show up, it's like, yeah, like we definitely showed up, but in the sense that I'm talking about, it's like to a whole T. So what's next? I think continuing to be in my vocal lessons and continue with choreography and putting myself out there and being open and available and putting myself in a space where I'm continuing to say yes. I have a performance in April and I'm so excited about it. This will be a longer performance because at the arena, again, I only sang If Not You Who, but this one will be 5 minutes long in April. So I am preparing for that, but I am claiming that this is the year that we are going to be performing live, and we are going to put our best foot forward on giving a really good show and creating moments and relationships, whether it's with dancers, new dancers, or just figuring out a way, like not just showing up to perform at places, but also connecting with fans, like getting their SMS, getting their emails, like the merch that I'm selling, like how can I go ahead and have some merch on hand, so in the moments where like I'm done performing, like I'm not just leaving afterwards, like I'm connecting one-on-one with fans and making sure that the new people that I see or that hear me, like there's an extra layer that I'm giving every time. Like it's just not like I'm showing up and leaving. No, like how can I connect on another level with the fans that are right there in front of my face? So brick by brick, I can create a community or create a fan base that can continue to grow with me and follow me on this journey, because it is a journey, but I'm trusting the process. I am talking to myself in a positive way and trying to control what I can control in terms of putting myself out there. So if you take anything away from this talk today, I dare you to say yes. Say yes. If not you, who? If not now, when? So say yes and come back. DM me, message me, let me know, what did you say yes to? How did it turn out? Was it a leap of faith? Was it a risk? Was it your first time? Like, I want to know about that. And let's create a community of people who say yes and take the risk, even if it's not singing, designing, modeling, which what I'm doing. But I think the commonality here is having that confidence, having that dog, having that grit to be like, yeah, I'm stepping up to the plate. Because you never know, like, that story or that motivation that another woman or another person who's in that same storyline as you or experience as you never know, like, they might need to hear that. Outside of me, they might need to hear that. So let me know. Hashtag Ruby's Roundtable, hashtag if not you who, or just tag me, personally message me on social media. That is our time today. And I hope that you either learned something if you are trying to make it in singing or trying to just put your best foot forward in the entertainment industry. Hope you learned something. If you have some resources or tips for me that I can share on the next podcast, or something that you want to hear or learn about, let me know. Let's talk about it.
We currently in the bathroom with it. Don't judge. Getting ready behind the scenes. This is what we're doing today.
I love that.
Thank you. I just be loving like hats, gloves, like a hat, a glove, and a good belt.
Right. Like that combo. Yeah.
In Charlotte, North Carolina, please put your hands together for Ruby Durham.
If me on Instagram.
I didn't even know it was coming on. Like, that's how, so when our song pop up, we never know what song it's gonna be until that day. So like 5 minutes before us, I was like, damn, that's Ruby's song. That's what's up, though.
Outside getting some free merch.
Yes.
Yo, it's your boy DJ Panda P, baby.